Okay, $150.91 in the red, 5 trades, 1 ticker. What went wrong? Well, the most important thing that I did today wasn't that. It was stopping when I hit my daily max loss. So the PDT rule is coming down the pipe maybe as early as June. And so I have set a daily max loss to keep me from overtrading. And by the end of this video, you will understand why it's important to have a daily max loss. So let's get into it. Let's see. All right, so today all of my trades were on EFOI. And again, I feel like the dummy that lost money on the stock that everyone else was making money on. And I have lots of questions after today. So if you want to watch these trades in action, you can check out my live stream from earlier. I'm a new trader. This is very helpful. Being forced to do everything live and analyze everything to the nth degree, I'm definitely finding the holes in my trading game a lot faster. It's embarrassing though. All right, so the very first trade, EFOI, it met my criteria for stock selection. And the only thing that was giving me pause is that it was easy to borrow. And I don't always check to see if the stocks are easy or hard to borrow. I do plan on doing a video about that. I'm going to make a note. But it has to do with shorting the stock. If it's easy to borrow, that means that it's either cheap or free to short the stock, which means that there's a lot of shorting with that stock. Now I decided to jump in anyway, and now I'm rethinking that. I may add that to my list of criteria, my standard operating procedure, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, so my first trade of the day was a bull flag pullback, and honestly, I think it was a good decision. Pulled back, I got in, it flushed down, and I hit my stop. Now, my stop is 10 cents a share. The low of the last candle was way below that. Was I stopping out too early? Maybe. That is another question that I have from my trading for the last few weeks. Is my stop too tight? There have been a number of times where I have gotten out at my stop and then the stock went up higher. So do I need to have a larger stop? I don't know. My metrics have been terrible. So this is a valid question. Okay, next one. The next one was also a bull flag pullback, which used to be my best setup, and now it just seems to be a nightmare. And I'm wondering if it's because my stops are too tight. Again, you can see here that the stock pulled back. I got in here and it dropped, but I didn't sell. I sold here. I didn't sell at the low of the last candle. So on the bull flag pullbacks, I think I might be getting out too quickly. But could I have handled that loss? Okay. If I got in here about 505 and I got out down here, that would have been 40 cents a share. But it wouldn't have hit that point, right? And it would have just kept going higher. So a very important question is, am I selling too soon on my bull flag pullbacks? That could be the bottleneck. All right. Next trade. This was my best trade of the day. It was a micro pullback, and honestly, I'm super proud of this because I felt like this was a really clean trade. Okay, and you can see it all happened in this one candle. So I saved a screenshot. Let's see, where's my screenshot? Let me show you this. So I saved a screenshot, and it was right here. I pulled back on the 10-second chart. So I've been experimenting with micro pullbacks, pulling back on the 10-second chart. As it moved up, I bought into it and I got 40 cents a share on this. Did I get out too early? Okay, look at this. It went all the way up, right? Was this a halt? This might have been a halt. So I think I did get out at the right time. But in any case, that was my best trade of the day. Next trade, this was a dip after a halt. Yeah, so that was where the halt was, right? I got this trade here on this leg. It halted. After the halt, and I took a screenshot of this one too. After the halt, it dipped here and I got in. It did come back down and I lost 20 bucks. Okay, so that's not horrible. Could have been way worse. This last trade is a doozy. This is like a nightmare. All right, so at this point, I'm still green on the day. And then I get in on this bull flag pullback. All right, so let's take a look at this one. So again, I got in for the break over this candle here and it rejected. I really don't think I did anything wrong with the with the bull flag pullback. Okay. However, look at this. It popped up. And I think the one thing that I could have done is waited for this volume candle to go up. Okay. And I didn't do that. So if there's one thing that I could have done differently, I would say that's it. However, it rejected and I lost $207. Now, the story doesn't end there. Let me explain. At that point, okay, I could see how much I was down, but it hadn't quite clicked in that I had hit my daily max loss. Even though I had talked about it after my first two red trades, I had said, oh, I'm close to my daily max loss. But when I hit this number, I actually said, I have settled funds left. Maybe I could take one more trade. And I started hunting for the next trade. And this is after my biggest loss of the day. And then I saw the number, like I actually saw it. And I realized that I realized that I was in the red at my max loss. Okay, so my metrics today are horrific. 20%, that's awful. My accuracy has been terrible lately. And so now I'm red on the day, red on the week, red on the month. Okay, I went from being green to being red. But the important thing is that I saw this number, $150.91. I was 91 cents over my max daily loss. And I stopped. Let that sink in. I'm letting it sink in. I actually did stop. Okay, I stopped trading. I didn't revenge trade. I didn't rationalize with myself. I didn't justify why I should keep trading. I didn't argue with me. Okay. I actually stopped. That is a victory. Now, the red day is a bummer, okay, but that is a victory. Now, why is that so important? So I set my daily max loss this week. I had been very loose about it. Very loose about it. And partly because I am trading in a cash account and I knew that I would just run out of settled funds and that would make the decision for me. I would have to stop trading at that point. However, this week and last week, I had one trade each week that was a revenge trade. And when the PDT rule change came out, I thought to myself, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome because there's going to be so many more traders in the market and that's going to increase the volume and we're going to have a great time. We're going to love it. Okay. But personally, I also thought that there might be some risks. Okay. And um, one of the risks could be that now I will trade with larger share size. So instead of having to budget out my settled funds, I could take one trade using all my funds or most of my funds and take much bigger share size. Okay. Well, the bigger the share size, the bigger the what? Risk. So that's one issue. And then even if I stay with small share size, I could do that indefinitely and overtrade. So this week I decided to nail down a daily max loss. And this is how I came to the number. I said, okay, my share size generally is 500 shares. And if I set my stop at 10 cents a share, that is $50. And if I take 3 red trades in a row, I'm down $150. Now, I do have to examine if my stops are too tight on my bull flag pullbacks. However, I think right now $150 is a good stop. I can emotionally handle that. I can also potentially make that back in a day or two. So I think that right now, with my level of experience, I'm a beginner. I think that is a reasonable max loss. I've been down way more than that before, and I've been way up more than that. But I think for now, that's what I'm going to keep it at until I come up with a reasonable justification to increase it. However, if I do increase it, then I will stick to that number. Okay, so the max loss rule is not about necessarily even willpower. It's like I'm trying to develop a set of rules, a system, and stick to it. Okay, so that I'm not relying on my emotional state. It's okay to be happy when you are green, and it's okay to be sad when you're red. Like I'm super bummed out about today. However, uh, if you are winning and losing and not analyzing why you're winning and why you're losing, you're missing an opportunity for incremental improvement. And then you're just going to stay in that state. Okay. So I will be doing a video. I have write my notes down here on max daily losses. Okay. And how the different ways that you can sort of come up with that. All right. All right. On that note, next week is a whole new week. All right. And I do have a Substack coming out later today, wrapping up my weekly goal on micro pullbacks. And I think you're going to find that pretty exciting. I absolutely improved my micro pullbacks over the week. My bull flag pullbacks went completely downhill, and I don't know if that's related. I don't know, but I think you're going to find my progress over the week really interesting. And so that'll be over on my Substack. And next week I am traveling. I was supposed to leave Sunday night, but now I'm leaving Monday night. So I will be live streaming Monday morning. Okay, my flight got delayed and rebooked due to an airline strike. So I will be here Monday morning live streaming. And then the rest of the week I will be trading from Prague. And I will try to live stream. Hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully that works out. So stay tuned for content coming up about my trip. If you've ever been interested I've traded on all my trips. This will be my first time live streaming. So if you're curious about trading and traveling, definitely check that out. And have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves and trade smart.